northbound on the 605. Northbound on the 605 going really, really fast here. We just picked this up as we were coming away from that sad story in Diamond Bar. I can tell you this is industry sheriffs who is following this car driving really crazy northbound on the 605 in wide open traffic right now. So we got industry sheriffs in pursuit. Going to try to get some more information on our assignment desk about what the original want was on this, if it was a failure to yield or if it was a stolen vehicle or something like that. But we're going pretty fast. We've seen speeds typing about between 90, I think they're talking about going about 100 miles an hour right now. And this is fairly unusual for sheriffs to actually.
That the want is for attempting to run down a deputy. So you can imagine this guy's trying to get away, but have a look right there. Looks like that deputy to the car. We normally don't see deputies get that close, I feel like. What do you think, Desmond?
Yeah, no, that is unusual, but that's also want trying to run down a deputy. I don't think I've ever heard that before. Now screeching to a halt, and no, actually going westbound on the 210. He was going to exit near the end of the freeway at Mount Olive, which goes towards Bradbury, but he decided at the last second to cut there and go west on the 210, driving incredibly aggressively right now. So he said the want was trying to run down a deputy, which tells me, perhaps that's why this unit is being so aggressive in chasing this guy, because both of them are going so fast. I mean, just pedal to the metal here, westbound.
Okay, this is a 100-mile-per-hour high-speed pursuit. That's going to be on the northbound 605 in Baldwin Park. We can say the want on that vehicle and for the driver is the attempt rundown of a sheriff's deputy. Now, of course, that would be deadly force.
Yeah.
If there was a situation that was on the ground and a car was approaching a deputy and didn't stop, they could see that as, lethal force, and they could shoot at the driver. So you got to understand that they're taking this obviously as somebody possibly armed. I mean, they used a weapon towards a deputy. There certainly might be something that's going to be heightened awareness for these deputies and for law enforcement as they try to get that vehicle rounded up there. This is going to be on the northbound 605 tonight.
Yeah, and we saw that car was driving 100 miles per hour, extremely fast. We also saw right there, you can see it looks like the sheriff's deputy extremely close, and that's something that we normally don't see. No. And as Desmond Shaw was saying, there's a reason why that deputy is probably so close, because this man is wanted for possibly attempting to run down a deputy.
And he's driving very aggressively, so you got to understand that cruiser behind there wants to stay on top of this driver. They don't want to lose this guy.
Look.
This is somebody who tried to injure a deputy, tried to run them over. And so, as I mentioned, that's deadly force, and that's one reason why police want to get this person behind the wheel of this pursuit vehicle. We don't understand what kind of vehicle it is at this point in time. It's obviously very dark. They're running without their headlights, and they're going 100 miles per hour. Yeah,
it looks like some sort of sports car, possibly a black, dark sports car, definitely in the fast lane at times, and then you would see him skirting over to the right lane. He also tried to ditch that officer. I don't know if you recall, did you see
what kind of car is this?
Well, it looked like he's going, at one point in time, was trying to go off. Now, is this an off-ramp here, Desmond? This is going off to surface streets, right?
Oh, we have
yes, I believe this is going to be Huntington. Yeah, Huntington Drive, so coming into the Monrovia area, and I'm really floored, guys, at how aggressively this guy is being. He's going to look like maybe that deputy was going to try to do a pit maneuver there, but decided against it. Westbound on Huntington Drive right now, a pretty major thoroughfare. Let's see what happens here. Turning back around and back. Looked like he wanted to get on the eastbound side of the 210, but he kind of missed the turn because he's going so fast. So now he's eastbound on Huntington Drive, coming through Monrovia. That was a green light, fortunately. I mean, it looks like this guy's driving so fast, and if he's going to blow through red lights, really, really worried about.
Okay, wanted for attempting to run down deputies with his vehicle. This is a pursuit that we are following here on CBS 2. Unfortunately, we have
residential/commercial area. Luckily, it looks like there's not a lot of people out there, which is great. Not a lot of drivers on the street, but you can see a deputy following very closely
going through red lights there.
Ooh.
Now, you see very aggressive driving here. Now, Desmond has seen a lot of these chases. He says he hasn't seen somebody drive this aggressively in quite some time. Crystal, we saw this driver going over 100 miles per hour. We saw them trying to ditch police vehicle behind them by going on and then off of an off-ramp.
Running another red light right there.
Running more red lights, and that's very dangerous. Of course, it's dark. You get to these side streets, there could be cyclists, there could be pedestrians, somebody trying to cross the street, and you're going that fast with these conditions, with darkness out there. It's just very dangerous.
Very dangerous, and this is really interesting watching this deputy so close. You can tell this deputy does not want to let this driver get away. It looks like we do have Desmond back in the chopper for us. Desmond, are you there?
Yeah, Chris, we are getting some air support over this. It's unclear what agency has their chopper overhead. We're still trying to figure out. We thought maybe it was sheriff, so it might be Baldwin Park, but we're still eastbound on Huntington Drive. And I wanted to remark earlier, this
all right,
guy was
hello
trying
guys.
to
This is a police
check one
pursuit
of the
taking place right
officers
now
on
as
the
our
westbound 210,
signal keeps
kind of,
losing.
adding to that
Maybe there
assault with a
was
deadly
no
weapon.
service
He saw
because of the
going
news
100 miles
helicopter
an
because
hour,
that's
and then
he was
slamming
on
the
210
brakes. We
freeway
saw,
earlier on. The
some of
suspect
the
was on.
tires burning there
He
on the
was
210,
going through
unfortunately.
red lights. He's wanted for attempting to run down assault on a peace officer. They are having technical difficulties. Oh, maybe because of that airspace. That's the point. He's attempted for running down sheriff's deputy. He's at a speed at about 60, 70 miles an hour. They were trying to do a pit maneuver. Luckily, it looks like there are a lot of people out there. And it happened almost 7 years ago.
Like, wow. Well, he
It
doesn't want to
happened.
give up. The officer there slamming into him there in the back. But this guy does not want to give up.
It happened
Wow.
6 or 7 years.
That
It
was very
happened
close to
6 or
that
7
really,
years
really
ago.
scary.
gas
guys.
truck.
In
Obviously, there was
2018.
flammable material in there.
Dangerous.
This is a pursuit that went place. It was recorded on
Dark.
November
You get to these side
23rd,
streets, there could be
2018.
cyclists, there could be pedestrians
So,
trying to cross
it
the
was
street,
7 years
and
ago.
you're going that fast.
And that was
with
very
these
dangerous. And it's very
conditions,
dark in
with
the side
dark,
streets. It could be side
darkness
with
out there.
their
It's just very dangerous.
with their
Very
pedestrians.
Facing
and
legal
the suspect
troubles?
is speeding. I'm
Don't
sorry,
navigate it
I'm
alone.
having to deal
Human
with the
Law Group is here to
advertisement.
fight
So
for you.
you're gonna have to bear with me because
And
he's
this is
going
really
fast with
interesting
the
watching
good
this deputy so
clip.
close. You
These
can tell this
conditions in the
deputy does
darkness.
not want to let
Just
this driver
several couple
get
minutes ago,
away.
they were
Looks
trying
like
to
we
do.
have Desmond,
They were trying to do a
back in the
pit
chopper
maneuver.
for us.
It's like
Desmond, are
a
you there?
TBI pit maneuver,
Yeah,
precision,
Chris, I
and
just heard we
mobilization
are getting
technique.
some air support
This is
over
like
this.
very
It's
dangerous. You gotta
unclear
be
what
at least
agency
35 miles an
has
hour.
their chopper overhead. We're still
And they're
trying
not
to figure
gonna
out. We
let
thought
this
maybe it
one
was,
go.
sheriff,
They're not
it might
playing
be
around,
Baldwin
and they're not
Park, but we're
playing.
still
This is
eastbound
dead
on Huntington
serious.
Drive, and I wanted to remark
This is
earlier,
dead serious. This suspect
this guy was trying
is
to
hoping
brake check
he
one
would
of the
get away from the
officers on the
police.
westbound 210,
Going past that
kind of,
minivan,
adding
that
to
dude in that
assault with
minivan
a
minding
deadly
his
weapon. I
own
mean, he saw him going
business.
100 miles an hour.
Now, as
and
you
then
can see,
slamming
the
on
news
brakes.
helicopter
We
is trying to
saw,
keep
some of the,
up with that
the tires
vehicle, but
burning there on the
it's
210.
due to that
Unfortunately,
airspace. I don't
really
know,
quick on
and he
his
was
brake
slamming
pedal
on the
as well,
brakes,
but actually
going at
saw
100
that
miles an
the
hour.
suspect do
Fires
that to the
burning on the
cops,
210.
a couple of
Fortunately, the
times. Saw that
officer
earlier on
was
605 as well. So
quick on his
this
brake
is an
pedal, but
incredibly
he
dangerous chase
let a
right now.
suspect do that
Sometimes, you know,
to
we
the-
see some of these pursuits
that
where they
to-
go really. There he goes again, slamming on the brakes at the last second.
Turning
now going
right.
inside a 7-Eleven parking lot. And
Oh,
let's see.
look
It
at
looks
that.
And there you see the
This might
front
be the end
bumper
of it.
falling off. They're gonna
It
do
looks
this.
like,
Whoa,
wow.
go
He
for
doesn't
it.
want to give up. The officer
Management is
there
up and
slamming into him there in the back.
Big rig truck. Excuse
But this
my,
guy does
excuse
not
my
want to
language.
give up.
Abuse
Wow.
that car.
That was
Put
very
an
close
end
to
to
that
this.
big
Really,
rig, and
really
that was a
scary.
gas
Now the
truck.
officer's
Obviously,
slamming
there was
into
flammable
him,
material
slamming
there.
the
As he
frick
continues to
into
speed
him.
down
He's
these
gonna,
side streets. Do you
he's
know
gonna get back
exactly
on the
where you are,
freeway. I
Desmond?
don't think he could. He's
We just turned off
going
the
underneath the
Drive, I
freeway,
believe
running the
they're
red light,
calling this,
flammable
Central
material.
Street. I'm not
Do
sure this is
they
not
know
one
where
of the-
exactly
he's
are?
coming down
And
to
you know what?
Dewani
Well,
Road,
oh
I
my,
think now.
okay.
Wow.
Code for
Coming
10-1.
onto a center
His pursuit
median
is
now.
over,
He's
and
stopped.
he is
Let's see
on
what
the
happens
run.
here.
And
It looks
nope,
like he
they're not
crashed
going to
on
give
that
him a
center
chance
median,
to
may have
turn.
disabled his
They're
car.
not going to give these
Officers
three
out with
individuals
guns drawn.
a chance
Let's
to
hope that
turn this
this
into a
insane
foot
chase
chase.
has come to a
And they're not going to
conclusion
give that
here.
suspect any
Unclear
chance
how
to
many
go,
people are in the
escape,
car.
and run from the law. This is the 2010, 2011,
waiting to see a
2012
door
Kia
open here.
Optima.
Hopefully
This
see some
is a
hands up.
sports car engine.
And,
Unclear how many people are
this will be
inside
coming
that
to a
car.
conclusion, but
Waiting to see a door
not seeing
open
anybody step
and
out yet.
hopefully see
Yeah,
some
we're gonna
hands
hold
up.
on here, just see if this guy's
Across
gonna
the
give up or
United
not. What
States,
we
they
have
do a
here
pit
is,
maneuver,
Desmond
or they do a
Shaw in
TBI
side
pit
two.
maneuver.
We
They
have
do
this
a
on the northbound
boxing
605, going over 100 miles per hour, then going on side streets, Crystal, slowing
They
down
do a
just a bit,
boxing
going through
in,
those red
or
lights, going
they
through a
can shoot out the
7-Eleven
suspect's
parking lot,
tires
and
if
was going
necessary. Like
head-to-head
it
with
was
a big rig.
1994
It was,
as
one of
seen
those,
on Cops
big rigs
TV
with a
show.
gas truck, flammable
Like, you
material
know,
that
this is
somehow
on
got out of
police
there and
chase.
back onto the roads and then
Like,
kind of got
you know,
high
this is
centered on
why
median.
hit the center
Oh, like,
median there. Desmond, can you
if
see
a
if
deputy
there's a
was ran
passenger in
over,
the
they
truck
shoot out the
in the
suspect's
car?
tires. They
Excuse me,
wouldn't
it looked
have
like there was someone
no
possibly
deputy
in
would
the
not
passenger seat.
would not have a choice to shoot out
Yeah,
that car's
sorry,
tires.
Crystal, I couldn't see here.
It
We're
can
trying
go on
to
a
get
45
around to see
mile an hour
the
chase to
driver's side here. I
on
can
a
tell you we
freeway
are on Central
for
Avenue.
that.
That's a street
Like,
that
it's on
parallels
police
Huntington
chase
Drive.
video, and the suspect
Actually, it
eventually
might
they're
be
trying
on
to get around to
Eucalyptus Avenue.
see
This all happened
around
so
the driver
fast. It looks
street
like
to
this is
parallel
a
Huntington
Kia.
Drive.
I'm being
And you
told
know,
that
it might
this
be
is
a
Kia
capoculus.
Black Kia Optima.
This happened so fast.
got some
right
damage
now
on
that,
that.
came-
Crossing underneath the freeway.
that might
This is
have
a
been
Kia.
from the brake check.
This is a
deputy slammed into him in
$34,000
that,
car,
7-Eleven,
$21,000
parking lot.
car.
It looked like he was almost
I
trying
gotta
to
look
do a
up what
pit
the
maneuver
base
there,
price
and
of the
then
MSRP
that truck kind
is.
of complicated things.
That
But
dang.
this
And the
guy,
deputy slammed
disabled
into
this
Tim
vehicle
Mendes.
himself. Now you see officers rolling up there,
7-Eleven
for
parking
safety.
lot.
trying to get
It
ever
looked like he
closer.
was
This guy
trying
is
to
not giving up
do
right
pipping
now.
over Yankee
I can't tell if the
Yankee
window
CO
is
officer
up or
volunteer.
down.
This guy
I don't see
is
any
not
hands.
I'm hearing,
giving up.
Yeah, still not
And
seeing
they
hands
feared
come
it.
up. I think I
If
see
he doesn't
hands on the
cooperate in a few
steering
seconds,
wheel.
they can
Well,
tell
that's a
the
start.
window is
Let's,
up
let's
or
quickly
down.
bring the
We're
viewers up to
not
speed because
sure.
this
They
is somebody
can't tell.
behind the
We
wheel of this
can't
vehicle that
tell.
tried
I
to
think the
run over
hands.
a deputy.
They see
and
the
also
hands on
did
the
a brake
steering
check
wheel.
on the highway, which obviously means you're going a high rate
This is
speed,
not a
and then
traffic stop,
apply
you
your
know.
brakes,
Someone is
and then
trying
you
to
hope that
run
somebody's going to run into the back of them, and that didn't happen. And they tried a couple
over
pit maneuvers,
deputies.
went through
These
this,
cars,
aggressive driving.
these
It's now
suspects
high center
in those
gear.
sports
Yeah, it
cars would
looks
go
like
up
the
to
driver
175
probably
miles
didn't
an hour.
see this,
Well, you
center
know,
median
in
because
a
when he
slower
drove up on it, it
vehicle,
appeared
slower
to
minivan
just out of
and
nowhere.
trucks
So
Going
now,
too fast.
go at
yeah,
about
now it looks like
35,
he
40,
got himself
55,
stuck,
60 miles
and
an
the
hour.
deputy's office obviously
As
want
long
him
as
to
that's not
climb him or
erratic
her to
driving.
come out of the car. And you can
These
see all of the deputies
these chases would be
behind
going on for
their,
nowadays. Would
doors.
be.
You're
If
gonna
it's
treat
like
this like
80
a
miles an
deadly
hour
weapon
cruise
because, you know,
control on
that
the
car
freeway
is,
with a
and was at one point in time trying to run over a deputy.
they would
So
do
gotta
spike
treat
strip,
this individual
spike
as,
strips
you know,
on that
dangerous,
suspect.
maybe even
They
armed, and
they'll
gotta
treat this
take
like
this
a
person
deadly
into custody as
weapon.
fast,
The
as
car at
quickly
one
as they
point was
can.
trying
Do we have any
to
canines that we can
make
see,
a right
Desmond?
turn, run over
I
a
do not see
deputy.
any
They
canines,
may
Jeff,
be
but I do want
armed
to
and
give
they
you an
want
updated location. This is
to
Highland
take this
Avenue
person
and
into
Duarte
custody
Road,
as
where it
quickly as
bends
they
back
can.
around, and that's
And
the Gold Line
so many cars,
railroad
so
tracks
many
that you
police
see
cars
there,
out there.
off the side as
Now
well.
this
But
is
you
like a
see
rolling
all of the
roadblock.
officers out here with
And now they have
deadly
the street
force.
closed off.
I'll
Gold
just zoom out to
line
show you here
railroad
the
tracks, as you
massive
can see.
response that they have.
They
Do not see
feel
any
the
canine
officers out
officers though
here
at this point, but they have
with a
this
deadly
guy,
force. This is like a tense
completely
standoff.
covered now.
Zoom out to
it's
show
really just going to be a
massive
waiting game at
response.
this
They do
point,
not
but
see
it's
canine
very
officers. They
disturbing
have
that
this guy
This guy has not surrendered
completely
yet at
covered,
this point.
boxed in, waiting game at this
95%
point.
of the time
But
at
it's
this
very
point,
disturbing that
we
this.
see the suspect
If
get
he
out of the
fires a
car,
shot,
we
if
see
he
him,
fires
they realize that the jig is
a
up.
shot,
Okay,
if he
looks
starts
like
firing
does
shots
have
at
his
the officers
hands
95% of the
up,
time,
or he
they
did
will
for a
shoot the
second.
suspect
Now he's got
back.
a hand on the steering wheel.
They realize the jig is up.
So it's not
It looks
clear
like
if he's
he does have
complying
a
with officers
his
at this
hands
point,
up.
But he
The
needs to
second
get
he has
out
now
of
he
the
has
car
a
soon.
hand
just
on
wonder
the
if
steering
maybe
wheel.
there's,
It's not
if
clear
there's
if
for
he's
some reason
complying
a
with the
reason why you
officers
can't
at this
open up
point.
the
I'm not sure. I'm
driver's side door.
assuming,
You
and
see some cactus
we
or
might
something like that.
listen
Maybe there's some
now. This
landscape or a
pursuit
rock or something. I wonder if
went
maybe
on. This
there's no
pursuit
way
had
for
been
him to
on
get
for
out.
about.
Never ever sue the
15.
driver who crashed into you after a car
God,
accident.
get out of here.
There's a better way
We
to get
don't want
compensated
an
that's faster,
advertisement.
easier,
No.
and could get you.
I'm sorry, folks.
I see that there's
I
some
apologize
damage
to those
on the
viewers. I'm
driver's
trying to be
side door.
respectful.
I
Excuse
don't
my
know
language.
if it's
At
so
this
much
point, this
that
pursuit
the
has been
door
going
is not
on
able to open.
for about
It doesn't
15
look that
minutes.
severe. It looks like it's just
At
kind of
one
scraped
point,
up.
the
Well, I
driver
guess if it's damaged, and
eventually
you can't
crashed
get out
into
of
the
it, they
curb. The
obviously
front
will
tire was
make
flat.
entry into, we've seen that before, where they will take them
Now
out
the car was
of
stuck.
the vehicle
It looks
with
like
force,
it's scraped
and,
up,
they'll
and
go up there
if
and,
it's
pop the
damaged, the
window if
front
they have
bumper
to.
might be
Desmond,
damaged.
can
We
you
saw
see
it.
what he's doing
They will
in the
make
car?
an
It
entry.
looks
They will
like
take
his
them out of the
hands are
car,
moving.
and the vehicle would force and
Yeah,
pop
he's
the window
been
if
very
they have
fidgety.
to.
I saw his hands on the steering wheel, then it looked like he had his hands up, then I saw him kind of fidgeting around for something.
He's been very
no,
aged.
I really can't
The
tell
spirit
very
of the
well.
idea is kind of
try
in
to
his
zoom in,
hands,
but it gets
fidgeting
very dark when I
around
do
for
this.
something.
Let's see what we can
I
see
really,
a little
they
bit better.
really can't tell.
At this point, looks like he's looking behind him with one arm
Let's
on
listen now.
the steering wheel. It certainly looks like that's just kind of scraped up damage there on the driver's door. So he should be able to get out. He's got both arms up now in the air, but just way too much movement coming out of here when you have all of these officers in such a tense situation with deadly force, and especially considering the circumstances, trying to run down a deputy and then doing brake checks on the freeway like that. So just incredibly tense here in Duarte at the intersection of Highland and Duarte Road. just south of the 210 freeway.
So since the Gold Line tracks are right there, Desmond, did you get the idea that maybe he was going such a high rate of speed, he went over those tracks, got a little bit airborne, out of control, and then hit this median here, and that's why he's stuck there?
Yeah, it may be. That may very well be the case. This is not a high-performance sports car or anything, even though he was driving it that way. But yeah, he definitely took that turn just a little bit too quickly, which he also did earlier when it was looking like he was making a U-turn and wanting to get back on the eastbound 210 and then barely missed the turn. And I think he just kind of lost control here and got up on the median and, was not able to get off of the median before he got surrounded by the police. But it looks like he does have his arms up again over his head. It's very, very difficult to tell.
Desmond, can you hear what the officers are commanding him or telling him at this point? Do you hear any of that?
I'm going to let me turn it back up here and see if I can glean any information from industry sheriffs who have been the lead agency handling this.
Okay, we'll give you a chance to do that real quick. This is going to be in Duarte at Highland Avenue and Duarte Road, just past the Gold Line train tracks right there. This is the end of a police pursuit. You could call it a standoff, I guess, at this point in time. This was at one point in time when we picked it up northbound, the 605, doing over 100 miles per hour. Very aggressive driving here, Crystal. This guy was dangerous. He tried to run over a deputy. He brake checked police officers on the highway, went the wrong way at one point in time, went through red lights, was going through a residential area very fast, and was really using what a lot of people would consider deadly force. Yeah,
he was driving so fast, we suspect he might have rounded the corner right here and actually hopped the curb and might have pinned his car right there, so he might actually be stuck. We don't know if his door is jammed, and that's why he might not want to get out, but we do see like there's a little scrape on the door, so that could be a possibility, but I did count, and I think there's about 12 black and whites around there.
That's a lot. That's a good response.
Yeah, and so you can imagine there's several deputies, and they're all standing sort of behind that one
it looks like he's got two hands up.
Oh, here we are.
Looks like he's coming out, so this should be over with here pretty quick. You know, obviously here the protocol will be your hands
Very
up
tense.
and walk back towards a police officer, get down on your knees, then plant your face in the landscaping there or the road or wherever the case may be, and then an officer comes up and cuffs him, and then they clear the vehicle, and that should be the night. So we'll kind of see what happens here. Well, this is going to be our first look at the pursuit suspect now.
Looks like he's following some orders. As you just said, turn around, walk slowly back to the officer who will call you, and then at some point get down on the ground. Desmond, what can you tell us?
He's complying. The suspect is now complying.
They were worried that he was not
Finally,
complying, and
I was
suddenly
listening
now he
in
is, but
to the audio for the last
there's
few
actually a
minutes
Gold Line
or
train
so
that's
since I
preparing
let
to
you
pass
guys
by here
listen.
right now, and I heard deputies saying that
not,
they do not want the train to stop here.
They
They
thought
don't
the
want one
suspect
more
was not
factor to have to
complying.
think about
As
or
a Gold
endanger
Line
anybody, so they're
train
going to have that
preparing
gold.
to
First, they
pass
had to
by
get
here today.
their vehicles off the
Train
Gold
stopped
Line
here.
tracks, and now they told
He's
that train to
complying.
continue
Now they have
Unfortunately,
guns drawn. They don't want to endanger anybody. So they don't have to shoot the suspect. They thought he was going to fire shots at officers going, but it just looks like this is coming to an end after one of these pursuits. The star craziest chases they ever seen.
And make sure that there's no
This
one else
person is being
hiding
taken into
inside,
police
and,
custody.
this will be
Now the
a
deputies
peaceful conclusion, but
they will
we
come
were
to a
really
quick
holding our breath
sweep.
there
No one
earlier
else
into some
hiding
of
inside. The
very, very
suspect.
tense moments.
Okay, officers there.
Now,
we'll be wrapping this up here as they
now the
continue to clear
train
the scene. A number
going
of officers
through,
after
and
this,
the
driver
pursuit
decided to
went
try to
on
run over a
for
deputy.
about
That
15
resulted
or
in this
20
crash here
minutes
at Duarte. We'll
since
continue
the
to follow
police
that here.
started this chase. This has been going on for the last 20 minutes or so since this chase started. He was speeding at 100 miles an hour. All of a sudden, it became loose. They were going to do a TBI. They were going to come close aggressively to that suspect. I'm like, what is this suspect thinking? Speeding at 100 miles an hour, he was changing his mind. It was like he thought he was lost at some point. He was speeding up, trying to get away from the police officers, and there you have it. Have a good night, everybody. Check out this video pops up here. See ya. See you in the next video tomorrow, and see you guys in the next video on Monday. Take care. Bye, folks. Bye-bye.
Yeah.